Well, you may not know his name right away, but you'll definitely recognize his voice. Larry Mantle has been the host, of Air Talk on LAist, formerly KPCC, since 1985.
I know, can you believe it?
No!
He also hosts Film Week, which includes interviews with actors, directors, and others in the movie industry. Recently, he and his son started a podcast called Passing the Mantle.
Oh, I love that.
Which I love. In today's Java with Jaime, I get to sit down with Mantle as he reflects on his 40 years in radio.
I have my coffee, and then I bring what's left in the pot with me to work, and it's just part of my daily ritual.
How many cups do you think you go through a morning?
I probably drink 20 ounces of coffee total.
20 ounces, you've got it down.
Probably, yeah.
Well, thank you for having Java with Jaime.
Yeah, oh, my pleasure.
That's been Larry Mantle's morning routine for 4 decades. While in graduate school, the fourth-generation Angelino started volunteering at KPCC during its daily 1-hour local news program. He quickly became an anchor while also providing play-by-play of college and high school sports, later becoming the station's first local morning edition host. In 1985, Mantle launched Air Talk, wanting to combine listener calls with local experts and newsmakers.
Do you think the secret to your success is listening?
Probably, yeah. I think listening, and you do maybe judicious listening, because there are times you have to stop listening and push back. Listening, but listening judiciously and also understanding.
Mantle has judiciously listened to former presidents like Barack Obama and Joe Biden, state politicians in all offices, civil rights icon Rosa Parks, and stars in entertainment and culture like Aretha Franklin, Steve Martin, and Quincy Jones, just to name a few. But his favorite people to talk to are just average Angelinos inside and outside the station, making his wife Kristen a saint.
My wife jokes, because I'll get up and I'll go inside at the gas station. We're traveling somewhere, a town we haven't been in, and it's like 20 minutes later, where'd he go? What, I hope he's not sick or something. Oh, I was talking to the clerk who works there, and they're telling me about what their major economy is, and who's the big employer, and what's going on in the town. I just start interviewing people.
Now, in the aftermath of the Eaton and Palisades fires, Mantle's natural curiosity, along with his easy way of connecting to others, has brought about some of the most impactful interviews of his career.
This station was impacted severely by the fires.
In my friend and professional associations, I have around 30 people who I know well who've lost their homes, and others beyond that who had smoke damage.
Do you think the Palisades and Eaton fires, are they the biggest stories you think you've covered in your 40 years in radio?
They're certainly up there. The Northridge earthquake, also massive in its repercussions, and not just because of the loss of life and the property damage, but we learned, for example, how quickly the Santa Monica Freeway overpass that fell could be rebuilt because of the incentives that were given to the companies to get it done fast. It was incredible civic success. And the riots, I would put that in there too, because the LA riots really revealed how our civic fabric could unravel, and the problems that we kind of papered over and then we needed to address. And people with all different experiences in our community needed to come together and talk honestly about what they were seeing that wasn't right in our community, and the riots themselves. So these are things that have fueled conversations, all three of those examples, that lasted for years afterward. And I'm sure with Palisades and Eaton, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's incredible to think of how much you've seen.
I can't believe it, because I don't think I'm really connected with my real age. Mentally, there's this weird self-deceit where you feel like you're still that young person starting out. And it's strange, but I still kind of feel that. I feel the same drive. I feel the same excitement and interest.
So you have no plans to slow down?
Not at this point.
These days, his staff also keeps him young.
I work with young people. All of our producers are not only younger than me.
What is that like?
It's great. I learned so much from them. And, people knock Gen Z, but the people I work with are so open-minded. They just want to learn. They're really intellectually curious.
And while he sometimes has to explain what his Rolodex is to Gen Z while forcing them to pause and critically think while on social media, he's just as connected as anyone to his smartphone.
There are times I just wish that things were a bit slower, that things didn't happen so instantaneously, and that things didn't fall out of the news cycle so quickly. I kind of wish we let things sort of linger a bit longer. So I miss that. But I also enjoy the advantages of this fast-paced world. I'm as quick as anybody to look something up I want to learn. You know, I love being able to get that gratification, that curiosity satisfied on a smartphone. I wouldn't want to give it up now.
What do you have the most difficulty with after 40 years?
I'd say the current climate where of hyperpartisanship and the assumption of bad motives, one person to another. I'm really struggling with that emotionally. It's really hard.
Mantle takes that sentiment into his new podcast with his son Desmond, who's studying at Stanford School of Law. The two have started a podcast called Passing the Mantle about family, curiosity, and the things that change and those that don't across generations.
What do you think the biggest changes are that you've seen?
In the city
in
the city a lot.
I mean, you grew up here.
I did. I'm fourth generation Angelino. A lot of people ask me, you lived here so long, you have the history. How do you define Los Angeles? And I can't give you an LA definition, but I point to all these communities which give you a sense of place where there might be a dominant community that lives there. And so the culture is represented, the food, the music that you hear, the types of work that are done, the immigrant stories that they tell about how they arrived, the family structures that help support people through their process of becoming Americans. This is what's the great part of living here. We get the benefit of this. And I felt like I saw this so early in my life where we were going. That is the biggest change and the most positive change that I've seen, and makes me love doing what I do, because these are all the stories I'm telling the people I'm talking with.
He is old school about a few things. He's a diehard sports fan. His favorite teams, Dodgers, Lakers, Kings, and Rams.
All right.
And he does drink his coffee black, even at a coffee shop.
His 20 ounces?
Yes, his 20 ounces
very specific
of coffee.
20 ounces.
Exactly.
Oh, I just loved hearing that. I love that he's talking to his son, bridging that generational gap on the new podcast. And my favorite was when he said that he went out to places with his wife, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm just talking to people." I feel like people who are in the communications industry, you go in the elevator and you come out with a best friend. So I love it.
I wanted to say she's a saint for doing that.
No,
and
absolutely.
my husband's a saint. I feel like we all have that.
I get it from my mom, though, so I don't feel bad. Because I used to, as a kid in the grocery store, I'd be like, "Is she ever coming out?" "Oh, I'm just talking to people."